Hello, and welcome to today's English interactive writing live stream. I'm still not quite sure how that name works, but that's what I called it for now. Also, my tea is ready. Give me a second. I need to get it out of the hot water because otherwise it will get all bitter and disgusting. Nobody wants to watch me drink bitter and disgusting tea for close to 90 minutes or something. Yeah, probably. I think maybe you might. If that's what you're into, I won't judge you. Hello. Good to not see you again. I hope you can see me, and I hope you can also hear me, because that's kind of important for what we're doing here. What we're doing here is an interactive English writing live stream, which means you can see this text, which is the story we're writing, and maybe it doesn't look very interactive to you right now, but I can assure you there is interaction, because if you look below this video, you will find a link to a Discord server where you can interact, well, as much as you like, almost, or at least as much as you can type, because we mostly interact through text there. There's a chat that's, or a channel, as they say, on Discord, and it's called English Livestream Chat. And in there, you can tell me that I'm too loud, I'm too silent, that my image is not good, that I should do something to my hair, or that I should close that annoying window where you see that guy talking to you all the time, or something. And also, you can comment the story, and you can tell me if not only if you like or dislike it, but you can also tell me what you would like me to write, what you would like to happen. You can, of course, ask questions, and you can basically influence what's happening in this video and in the story. And that's kind of the whole idea. And I think that's very neat, and it has been working quite a while for the German live stream, which will soon have its 50th episode, I think today, if that works out. And so why not try it in English is what I thought. I'll have to see how to do it today, because as you might have noticed, I'm in a different place than I am usually. So I need to improvise a few things. Mostly I don't have a second monitor with me, so it gets a little bit difficult to have everything in view. I'll put the chat on Discord. Of course the chat is on Discord. I'll put the Discord app on my phone and place that besides my computer, so that might be one way to make it work. I think it will work in some way. I have the text here, and I don't need a lot more. So what I won't have, probably, I can check, is maybe like this. No, that's not good. Well, I'll have to see. I'll forego the control monitor, so I can't see myself, so I'll rely on you to tell me if something doesn't work, or if I'm looking ridiculous in some way because there's a piece of noodle on my what's it called, cheek or something. What else? You might have noticed my wrist doesn't hurt anymore, but I'm still trying to give it a rest so that it can heal properly. So speech recognition typing is still en vogue today, and it's the thing to do. So you will have to, well, it's not much of a difference in writing the story, because I read whatever I write too. That's for one thing, because I think it's nice to keep an overview and to keep you in the loop. Maybe some of you are doing something besides staring at the monitor the whole time while listening to this. And also, we might have some viewers who can't see. You never know. Maybe not yet. Maybe they will start the video later on. So I think it's a good idea anyway. And I will also have to speak what I type as responses into the Discord chat, which might feel a tad redundant to those who are there, but makes perfect sense, because we might have people who just watch on YouTube without joining us in the Discord, so they will know what's going on too. So I don't think it's actually a detriment, but it's a feature. Yeah, maybe we'll go on doing it like this, because not overworking your tendons in your wrists is always a good idea, even while they're healthy. So to keep them that way, you know. About our story, we were in a let's start at the beginning. Munira is a person who has been going to school in Germany after seeking refuge here from something we have not quite specified in her past, and who was supposed to be deported by German police before one of the first magi stopped that deportation and offered Munira to take her with them. And now they have gone to a cat cafe where they are waiting for other first magi to join them and discuss how to go on. The last thing we wrote there was that a magi called Torah joined them, and as you can see here, Munira asked like the Jewish book, and Torah answered, "Sounds the same." That was Sam. Sam is the one who saved her in the beginning, I think. Yeah. Sounds the same, but it's actually a Viking name. I think I picked it partially because I like the comics and the movies Torah added while sitting down. I think they're fun too. Munira said, "Not my thing." She stopped for a second to consider that she was right now sitting in a cafe with two apparently supernatural magical beings telling them she didn't like superhero comics, which immediately. And that was where we were at in the end of our last episode, and we were talking about what to do about Munira's family, because of course she was to be deported together with her family. But of course, it's not like this is a foregone conclusion and quite obvious, but it is the case because Munira was here with her family, and we wrote that in the beginning. So we can retroactively change that, but I don't think we'll do it. Although we could. I wouldn't exclude it too early, because we need to keep our mind open, if not too open, of course. We need to be careful about that. Yeah, this is what's it called? A sign. It's an Aquarius cup. I got it as a gift. I'm not actually into what they call star signs in English. Not sure. Not my thing. Just so you know, I don't endorse it. I just drink from it. Yeah. And of course, Munira needs to be worried about her family for the story to make sense and for her as a character to make sense. So we need to give a few thoughts to that and consider what she might do and say. And it's on the one hand, it's not a detail that's very central to our story, and but on the other hand, we need to wrap it up convincingly, because otherwise it will feel like one of those annoying problems to our readers, which we will hopefully one day have when our little story has joined the big names in the bestseller lists. Not sure what the important ones in English are. I think the Times is still one of those that matter. Yeah, and about that, yeah. I had a little chat with Millicent about it, but I think I would like to do it a tad differently. So my proposal, I think I'll just start right in with it if you don't have any additional comments or questions right now. And then you can tell me if you like what I'm doing and if it makes sense to you, or if you think we should do it differently. Yeah. Let's see if it even works. That's always a matter of luck. I'm using Nuance Dragon because I need that for, I bought that a long time ago for my professional work because I can use it there. So I have it, and sometimes it works rather nicely, and sometimes it's really horrible. Let's see how it goes today. Brought her to a question she had asked Sam had already. On the way here, they, see that's, you could go away. See, that's one of the things that's really annoying in Dragon. Sometimes it puts the stuff it recognizes somewhere else, not actually where the cursor is, but in the middle of another word, which is really pretty damn annoying. even talked to their support about it, and apparently it is a known problem, but it is a problem without a solution. They recommend using the repair function in Microsoft Office, but I did that and it didn't change anything, so we'll have to deal with it for now. What I'm trying to say is I'm not sure. I need a bit of help with the right word here. Give me a second while I look it up. It might take a few seconds, but so here we go. Yeah, that's what I was looking for. Next attempt in using Dragon. They had mostly deflected it. They had, maybe I'll, give me a second, I'll give it a try in a bit, in a kind of different way maybe. There is something I can change in the settings of the dictation source, because it feels like a lot of words, yeah, right, it isn't using the headset, which I would prefer, because that yields better results actually. So let's try that. Yes, finish. Now, we'll see if that helps. It's not a foregone conclusion with Dragon, because you never know. It's yeah, kind of like with real dragons. You can't ever feel quite safe while using it. She'd already asked them on the way here, but they had mostly deflected the question. So now she had to try again. Open quote. Oh, comma, once again. Comma. What about my parents? And here we go. That's one of those things that, well, I'm not sure how much they are a universal experience for all writers, but it happens to me quite a lot, because I'm easily distracted and I always have a lot of different tasks because I tend to procrastinate and all that. You maybe don't want too much details about my character, which entail what I'm trying to get to. But finally, the thing is, I always write stuff and then I can't remember what I have written in detail. So now, for example, we need to know, is Munira only wondering about her parents, or does she have other family members who are important to her here in Germany who might have been deported? Grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins, sisters, and have we mentioned that before? So we need to have a quick look at the beginning to our original first story to get a quick look at what we have written there. Knock on the door, teacher, Munira, can you come out with me? That's all. Then the scene with the police. Yeah, there is. We have been instructed to enforce your obligation to leave the country. I have to lead you to the vehicle. Yeah, that. Then the argument between Sharper and Banners, and the useless school principal. Empty bus. I think we didn't actually say anything about her family. Yeah, shit, a promo. I think that's the case. Yeah. So maybe we'll do a little vote. Maybe we'll even do a vote. I think that's possible. Give me a second while I finish looking it up, and do a search for family and parents, and maybe, yeah, I'll do a quick vote in the chat because I like, you already know it, I did it last time a few times. Yeah, parents, family, none. Okay, apparently we didn't say anything about this so far, which is kind of nice. So let's do a vote. Because Gekrimbel agrees. I don't remember anything about the family either. So the vote I'm proposing is: doesn't Munira even have any family here in Germany, or is she on her own? It's possible. Children sometimes can, for a variety of reasons, be alone as refugees in Germany. I think we all know that and can agree on that. I'm not sure how often it happens. So if it's 1 in 10, 1 in 100, 5 in 10, I have actually no real idea about that. I think mostly, obviously, I would say it's not 5 in 10 probably, but I'd have to look it up even, but it doesn't matter because this is not a throw of the dice, but it is one specific person. So everything that can happen with her. And it would be pretty neat in a way to just have her be on her own, because then well, pro and con in one, if you like, as most things we decide here. If she doesn't have any family, then that means it's simple for us. We don't need any further discussion. She doesn't have to ask about them. We don't need to make up a solution because, well, I see several. We could, for one, just have them live somewhere safe where the Magi took them, or as Millicent proposed, the Magi could have falsified some papers or something. Although I, for one, I like that idea, but I think my vision of the Magi is as rather not knowledgeable about our world. So you might remember that scene in the beginning where Sam tries to do something but falls over before putting the police officers to sleep and saving Munira. Their first attempt gets a bit and ends in a little accident, which they laugh off. So it's not really a problem to them. They're not embarrassed really or anything. They don't mind. But the fact is they don't have a lot of experience in our world and in our society. So I think they would not even know that falsifying papers and how to falsify. They could, of course, find out and all that. Not a real thing. We could make that what they did. But it doesn't really fit my vision because I want to describe them bumbling a bit and demonstrate a bit that they are very knowledgeable and powerful, but they don't really understand human societies and how bureaucracy and government and all that works in Germany. That's kind of what I'm trying to get at. But there are a variety of other things we could. Maybe it would even be good. I'm kind of losing the thread here. Let's pull it together a bit. It would be easier if Munira was on her own, because then she's just one person and we can concentrate on her getting to know the Magi and their inner workings and what they do. But it might also be interesting to have her not be on her own, because if she has family, well, we have more characters. We have more complication in her character, which might also be interesting. We have conflicts of interest, for example, which always make for good writing, because she will have to think about whether she wants to stay with her family or whether she wants to go out on adventure with the Magi, whether she wants to concentrate on what they might have to teach her, because it was implied that she might become a Magi too. And that would, of course, require some sort of teaching, I think, and learning, and maybe a kind of apprenticeship on her part. Yeah, right. Gekrimbel writes something very correct, which I was more or less getting to. Gekrimbel says, if she's alone, I think we should somehow keep that in mind for her character, as there's probably some kind of serious trauma, and I would find it too easy to just go, no parents, easier storytelling. No, that's absolutely not right. Yeah, that's what Grimbel says is right, but no parent leads to easier storytelling is of course not right, because yeah, there might be serious trauma in her background, of course, anyway, and especially if she's not with her family. That's completely right. Just it's one complication we won't have right now. That's what I was trying to say. Yeah, I know that was a bit of a confused explanation, but apparently at least Grimbel got it very well, so I'm satisfied with what I said so far, and now I'll propose the actual vote. And it goes like this. Is Munira with her parents, or is she on her own without any family, comma, at least in Germany? And if you remember how this works, the vote will soon appear in Discord. I'll just need to finish it up for you. One option. Oh, operator, second option. And now the emoji you can press to give me your vote. We will. Can I? There is no the emoji here. Well, the family emoji is yellow, so it's okay. And if she's on her own, do it like this. And here's the vote. And feels kind of bad to use that family emoji that comes from Discord, because it's such a, what can I say? It's a very mainstream society normal picture, because it's for people, two grown-ups and two children, and while their actual color is that Simpsons yellow that many emoji people have, they're obviously meant to be white people, and that's a problem in every case, but especially here. But I don't think Discord gives me a choice, so maybe I should have just used a completely different emoji as a symbol. Next time I will, I think. But for this case, this is how it is. So yeah, of course, from this decision, other questions will follow, and we will, what's it called, explore them in the story. So I might really have gone into a misleading direction by starting to say that it's easier if she has no parents, because it's kind of easier right now and here, because we can concentrate on Munira getting to know the Magi getting to know Munira, them talking about their future and all that, without having the distraction of Munira worrying about people who are close to her and who would also have been deported if not for the intervention of the Magi. But of course, later on, if she has no parents, then we will have to explore what happened to her family. Is there still family somewhere? Of course, she can also have friends who matter to her and all that. Yeah, well, and of course we will have to shape her background, her character, and all that during the telling of the story. And you, at least, have already made up your mind, and we have a clear result to the vote. So, resolved. Munira is on her own. I'm typing. Do you hear that? I shouldn't type. I need to rest my wrists. Without any family, comma, at least in Germany. Thanks for voting. And if you can forgive me the obvious and cheap, maybe here here in Germany, well, oh god, maybe I'll just not do the joke, because I was doing a very cheap and simple joke and felt the need to explain how cheap and bad I think it is, and so I was about to launch into an explanation about a very bad and cheap German political comedy / satire format on German TV. And at that point, at least, I finally realized maybe I don't need to do this at all, but just focus on the story. So let's do that. How about it? First Magi here. So, very well. Let's forget about family. I don't like them either. Here, gone. All deleted. So, what do we do now? And how unreal that felt. Full stop. It almost made her feel giddy, and she was still not quite completely sure that she was not dreaming. See, there's already the next question. I think we had made a decision how many of them there are. Is that right? Did they talk about it? Do you remember? Because I don't. Lots of sugar. Kind of cake. Blah, Hasdrubal, 6th birthday. Let's see how many. No. I think she can ask now then, because that's not a bad time to ask that. I'm scrolling through the document a bit to see if I forgot, but I think I didn't forget. I think we made a decision about how many there are, didn't we? But we haven't have them say it actually. I'll check. I think we might even have had a vote or something on that. Let's see. Capitalizing black sounds good. 5. Here's something. 3 or 4, but the more the merrier. I think we settled on 5, so by now they are 2. Yeah, all right. A cat. Cat sauntered into the backyard, stopped in front of their table, looked around thoughtfully, and, without any further ceremony, jumped up into Munira's lap. That won't work. You're right. There we go. Yeah, obviously, individual names don't work very well in Dragon because it doesn't know them. But I can type. It's just I want to do it as little as reasonably possible, just to not have my tendinitis flare up when it's not completely gone yet. I'm free of pain, and you don't need to worry about me though. Just in case you feel what's it called? Empathetic pain in your wrists now. There's none in mine, so don't worry. Just thinking better safe than sorry. She was not sure if this made the scene feel more or less surreal, but even to her own surprise, it did feel pretty good, full stop. The cat was warm, and felt nicely. Uh, Now I need to find the right words for what I'm trying to say here without repeating too much of the wording I had used before, if you get my drift. What I'm trying to say is Munira now has that cat on her lap, and that feels like maybe kind of like an anchor to reality, or like something. Well, you might be able to imagine what I'm trying to convey. Um, she has that feeling that things are not real. It all feels ridiculously um, made up, if you know what I mean. It's always a two-edged sword to say something like this in a story, because it shows some self-awareness, but it also, well, it can get silly if a story mentions again and again how unbelievable it is. So we need to watch that. And what I'm trying to convey here is that the cat feels nice, and also, well, yeah, um, pleasantly solid and real and heavy, and like something Munira can touch, and which actually, yeah, kind of anchors her to the reality of what's happening around her. Does that make sense to you? Do you think that makes sense? I think I'll try to say it in some way like that, but I'm still trying to find the perfect words for it. Hint, I'll never find the perfect words, but I can try to get as close as possible. I want we in school just now kind of story time within story time, but this is very short, just to explain why that puts such a warm, nostalgic smile on my face. When I went to school, we used to have a teacher who was quite old. I think he must have been really over 70. Not Millicent says yes. That's good. What I'm the kind of background story I'm telling you, also completely unnecessary. We had this teacher. I think he did this voluntarily because he was bored. He used to work in the chemical industry. I think he had a PhD in chemistry, and he taught chemistry and what's in Germany called Werte und Normen, kind of ethics class or something. And we had him as a teacher in this ethics class, and he was very, very, very nice. He was really a lovely person. I never once saw him in another mood than just kind and calm and friendly. But yeah, he was kind of confused. I'm not sure if it was an age thing, because you know me, I'm confused all the time, so I can't judge him for that. But he was a bit he had a bit of a dreamy quality about him, and he always used to say in that ethics class that old chestnut, like it was a very profound wisdom. He said that ideals are like stars. You can have them guide you, but you can never reach them. And so it's kind of a running gag for me, because he used to say that quite often, and it was a bit funny, and it's also true. And so whenever I say something that approaches this profound wisdom, I get reminded of Herr Dr. Eins. I think that was his name, and yeah, it was his name, and yeah, it makes me smile. The cat was warm and felt nicely solid and heavy, and if that made sense. Why? If that made sense, full stop. Felt the hairs of the cat's fur beneath her fingers while she petted it, comma, she felt the vibration of its purring. She felt its muscles move while it stretched. And of course, comma, she felt its claws while the cat playfully swatted at Munira's hands with its paws. Well, now Dragon managed to identify Munira's name, but not the word paws. It's a matter of luck, as I said. So kind of like that, maybe. Oh, and she didn't pat it; she petted it. Dragon. So how do you feel about that? I'm not quite sure about calling the cat it, but I think that's how it's done in English. Millicent said, "I liked the story." Yeah, well, if you liked that story, well, since you asked me for a story about my old teacher, I can tell you a bit more about him. Because we also had him as a teacher in chemistry later on, and that was after we had wasted another teacher. The class kind of didn't get along with the teacher that was actually assigned to us, and we failed all the exams, so we got assigned Herr Dr. Eins, and surprisingly, from then on, everybody had great grades in chemistry, because Herr Dr. Eins always had a lesson before the exam, in which he would prepare us for the exam by basically writing all the chemical equations that would be requested, that would be needed for the exam at the blackboard, on the blackboard, so everyone could copy them and learn those, I don't know, 5 or 10 or something equations. Are they called that for formula? What's it called in chemistry in English? I know in Germany we call them Gleichungen, which would be translated as equations in English, but I'm not sure if English-speaking people talk about equations in chemistry too, or if there's another name for that. I might Google that later on, but I won't do it now because it's not even relevant to the story. It's just something I tell you verbally. So, but if you know, feel free to let me know. Yeah, Millicent has posted a laughing smiley, and also I don't want to hide that. Gekrimble has posted a smiley with 3 hearts. That emoji with the 3 hearts in the face after I wrote the cat. Sorry, the cat content. So yeah, that's the cat. How many of you are there? Question mark. I never can remember how. Oh no, stop! No, don't dictate this. Yeah, right. There you go. I never can remember how the punctuation works in these kinds of sentences in English. Although I just did it last time. Like this. That's how we do it in Germany, so it's probably wrong in English. Like this? No. Just without a comma, I think, right? There's no comma here. I think like this. How did I do it before? Oh, that's wrong. Yeah, I think it's like this. Another example. That's right here. That's correct. Question here. No, I didn't do it before. But I think it's right without a comma. Will we need will we more tables and chairs, comma, will we need another restaurant? Or is that already everyone? Question mark. 5 altogether. Sam replied, full stop. Open quote. We were thinking about getting to 7. because that sounds more like the classical fairy tales, comma, but then we need more names. We need more names. I will now open the notes to this story. Give me a second. Here we go, Munira notes. So this is it. It's not a lot yet. And yeah, Tora and Sam we have for now. By the way, that's also something. We'll do another quick vote right now. Because I think in some way it would be nice for the cat to have a name. And of course Munira could ask the server or something like that. But as you know, I've never been to a cat cafe, so I have no idea how realistic that idea is. But I think the cat might have a little name tag on its collar. So should we do that? Does the cat have a little name tag on its little collar? Or does Munira ask the server? Or do we leave the cat without a name? Question mark. Of course, whenever I do something like this, where I offer like 3 options in a vote, and they are not exhaustive. Like in this case, you could think, wait, no, I don't want a name tag and I don't want Munira to ask, but I want the cat to have a name. I just want them to know in a different way. You can always write that in the chat. I just try to strike a balance between giving you all options I can think of and all options that seem possible, and keeping how do I call it? And keeping it simple, because of course the votes would get pretty overwhelming in writing for me and in doing them for you if I tried to exhaust every last option and possibility every time. But that doesn't mean I dislike the other options. It just means I think these are the ones that come to my mind and that seem obvious. But if you have better ideas, always, please, always feel free to mention them, and we can modify the vote, or we can just agree that your idea is better than everything they had and I had. And I promise I won't be cross. So here we go. Maybe no, like this, maybe. We'll just do it like this. There. I'm just looking up the emoji as usual. Give me a few seconds and we'll be done. Which one? Maybe this one. This one is nice. And of course we have this one. And that's just all. For that we can use this emoji. Here you go. Here's the vote. Give me a second. I'll also add the same. That goes faster because they are already in the recently used box. It's just not as quick as it could be possible because as I said, I'm not very good at concentrating on one task. Here we go. Yeah, there you have the vote. And of course, if you do not vote against the cat having a name at all, feel free to tell me what the cat is called. So if we feel like the cat should have a name, which I definitely do, although I'm open to, and of course, if we do not give the cat a name right here and now, it doesn't mean the cat doesn't have a name. It could just mean no one knows the cat's name yet. And we all know that cats are kind of mysterious creatures, so that's not completely. It's kind of fitting, is what I'm trying to say. There's a name. Jasper is what Krimpel proposes, and I like that name. It's a good name for a cat. 3 votes. There we go. Just a random suggestion. I don't insist. Let's run with it. Or wait, Millicent is typing, so maybe we get another suggestion. I'm not sure. Let's wait for it, because if there's only one suggestion and nothing speaks against it, I say let's go with it. But if there's a second suggestion, of course, I don't know if they have name tags in real life, writes Millicent, but I think it would be a good thing if they had, so one doesn't need to ask a servant about every cat if there's more than one. Yeah, that's what I thought too. Maybe it's just the thing is I used to have a cat allergy. I'm not sure how bad it still is. I used to have a dog allergy too, and I know that's more or less gone. It's not completely gone. I get a little rash on my skin when a dog. Maybe that's more detail than you wanted. Sorry. When a dog licks me, and I don't wash it off, I get a little like a mosquito bite or something, or like that. Nothing really problematic. It just itches a bit and it goes away after an hour. I used to have real difficulty breathing, kind of asthma, when I approached a dog, and that's completely gone, which is good. And I'm not sure if it's the same with cats, because I haven't met a cat in quite a long time. Maybe I should just visit a cat cafe and see how long it takes until I keel over. So the cat is called Jasper. Swatted at Monera Sanchez. Noticed a little bronze pendant on the leather collar worn by the cat. That said, so Monera assumed this was the cat's name, or at least the one it used for work here. Why not? I mean, magicians and clowns and other performers have stage names, so why shouldn't cats have them? You never know. I mean, if I was a cat working in a public place just to get petted and caressed by random people, I probably would prefer for them not to have my personal details and all that. So I think it could get weird after a while. You know, most people are probably nice about it, but there's always that one person. Oh, Dragon did a weird thing to the last phrase you typed. Or at least the one it used for working here. Where? Notice a little bronze worn by the cat. Yeah. You're right. Thank you. I found it. So it's a little pendant, and also so Monera. Yeah, it's with the names. Dragon is not good in general, but it's especially not good about names. But to what do you call it in English? To say something nice about Dragon for a change, compared to the first part of the sentence. Yeah, but I think I got it now. Or Monera noticed a little bronze pendant on the leather collar worn by the cat that said Jasper. Here, there's still a U too much. Should be right now? Or is there still something wrong? I think it should be okay now. What was I about to say? I don't remember. Yeah, right. Dragon is pretty good about punctuation, Well, no, that's not fair. Let's say Gboard, the keyboard I use on my mobile phone. Yes, now you got it. Thank you, Gekrimmel. The keyboard I use on my mobile phone, which also has a speech recognition function, and it works pretty well. Of course, it's not a fair comparison because Gboard uses a server, obviously. So it only works when I have a mobile connection. Although I think you can download stuff and then it works offline too. I'm not sure. I never tried that. I'm not sure. Dragon works offline, so that's nice. Also from a data protection kind of thing, you know. And what I'm about to say, yeah, right. And Gboard is terrible about punctuation. Usually, when I want to say comma, it just types karma, which is a bit weird. And it sometimes writes words I don't even know instead of the obvious punctuation. And it sometimes switches. I think 2/3 of the time it just says, in German it's not full stop, but it's Punkt, like point. And it just writes Punkt when I say that. And it's ridiculous. No idea how they got that wrong, because the rest works pretty decently. And compared to Gboard, Dragon is better in that regard. So that's that. I got that going for me, which is nice. Millicent posted a laughing smiley here. So also, I'm once again asking for your naming capabilities, because now we need the name of another Magi. Because the sentence is supposed to go said that the classical fairy tales really are not a good example to go by. Because they reproduce all kind of harmful stereotypes, and also everyone dies at the end, full stop. Usually. But the king and queen. So that's how the sentence is supposed to go. And you might have noticed I weaseled around giving the person who said that a name. So we need a name. Here, right here, we need a name. So do you want to propose a name, or do you want me to look up a name? For now, we have Sam, which is kind of a clearly English name. We have Tora, which is, I hope Millicent forgives me, a Scandinavian name, because I already forgot. Sorry. I'm not sure how insulting that is to you, but to me, the Scandinavian countries are a bit of a blur, I have to admit. And that's not correct, and that's wrong, but it's the case, so I forgot where Tora is from, if that's Norwegian or Swedish. I'm pretty sure it's not Danish. I think it was either Norwegian or Swedish, and you probably know, but whatever. We only have 5 Magi, so we should probably try with something from another continent. Like they could have a Chinese Mandarin name, or a Japanese name, or say, yeah, right, thank you. Gekrimbel leads my attention, calls my attention to this mistake, and it's fixed now. Thank you. And this is also wrong. So they reproduce. Or maybe a Tanzanian name. We have some Tora in Sweden, says Millicent. Okay, so let's call it a Swedish name. So another continent. So the other Magi could have a Chinese name, or maybe an Indian name, or to leave Asia alone for a second, they could have a Botswanan name, or a Nigerian name. No, I'm not going to say it. They could have a South American name. We have to, that's the point. We already have some hints that clearly say the Magi are old. They are goddamn old. So there would be, it would make sense for of course, they can change their names. They don't have to keep the same names for 10,000 years. But we could very well have one of them named something Inca, or one of the Northern American tribes, maybe. That would be absolutely possible and would make sense in the context of the story. Or an Inuit name. Inuit is also not good, right? That's only one. But yeah, well, I think Inuit are one tribe, and the other tribes don't like. I'm not sure. I should look that up probably. But yeah, we could have all kinds of names, and I think I'm in favor of having something we haven't had yet. So something non-European would be my vote. The Krimmel says, I would like for representation, like a name from, and now it gets, the tension is mounting. It's all so unbelievably exciting. I want to know. Tell me where the name is supposed to come from. By the way, while it might seem to you that I just use this T to play over such little waiting periods and my own insecurity, but the fact is I really love tea. The global south or other underrepresented, but I fear that just Googling one will give us a stereotypical name from these places in any case. Yeah, that's a problem. You're right. But I still think it's our best option, don't you? Maybe. I mean, no, we can't. I was just thinking we could use some sort of Incan or Mesopotamian god or something, but we already have Torah. They don't need to all be called after gods. What I was actually thinking was that they could be the basis for that God story. You know, it's kind of obvious to me that when the Magi with their powers walked the land 8,000 years ago, that the people drew inspiration for their God stories. We might have one called Joshua or something. Yeshua is maybe the origin for our God story, but that's kind of what's it called? That's overused. That's a trope. Having some magic person be the inspiration for Jesus. That's just cheap and unoriginal. Sorry, I often press enter when I need backspace, says Vikram. Yeah, it happens. I think stereotypical is good enough. How to find other names if one doesn't know one already. All right, so let's go with the best we can do. Because at least this is not a big publication, you know? If we were Random House and we were trying to make 50,000 prints of this and really get in some sort of best-selling place with our story, I would say let's hire someone who really knows their stuff. But for what we are doing, I think Googling is all we reasonably can do. So where would we like our name to be from? Do we do a vote? It's difficult because I don't want to do that the classical thing where we just say we need an African name or we need because they have lots of. Alright, I would like to draw your attention to the fact that I have now several times said European name too. So, but still, not an excuse. But on the other hand, I would like a vote. Maybe I'll just use a few examples and that's it. Let's say Tanzania because that somehow comes to mind. Now, just to make it clear, right now, the emoji I use are completely random. I just click somewhere, and I will. There's no meaning in these emoji. I will not try to find an emoji that symbolizes Tanzania or something, or any of the other countries I'm about to type. Let's just say, yeah, this. Next one, I'm working on it. Give me a second. No. Oh, I could use the Tanzanian flag. Ah, maybe I won't. Maybe I just won't anyway, although I could. Here, no idea. Just random symbols. Inca civilization. I'm not sure. Realm. What's the correct name for what the Inca had? Inca country? I really don't know. Sorry. Inca civilization. Maybe here and another shape. No idea. Let's use this one. Really doesn't matter. Comanche. And last one. Maybe this. India. Here you go. Do you think this is okay? And here we go with the emoji you can click on. There's the first. There's the second. There's the third. And here's the fourth. Of course, you can make other propositions. I just took what came to mind and tried to decide how many would be reasonable for a vote. So I think we take 4 different name sources and pick one of them. Oh, and while we're at it, we can also, I think yes. No, I don't think we do a vote. I was thinking about whether to have the Magi picking that name actually be a part of this civilization, but I think it has to, because it's different with the Norse mythology, but with marginalized and with the Inca at least, and yeah, more or less destroyed by Western colonialism civilizations, we can't have someone appropriate that name. I think with Torah it's okay, but I wouldn't do it with one of those names. So if we pick, yeah, well, we have a tie between Tanzania and Inca civilization, and I personally think Inca is more interesting. So I think I'll use my tie-breaking vote to go with that. If that's okay with you and you don't have any strong arguments against it. Millicent says we have a couple of names left to name, so maybe Tanzania this time and Inca the next. That's fine too. Gekrimble has given a thumbs up to that. Let's do that then. Yeah. No, it's fine. Let's use, I'll put it into my notes file in case we don't get to the Inca name this time. Inca name, and now the Tanzanian name. Names Tanzania. Yeah, also Dragon has a dragon bar. That's kind of a utility bar that's always in the way. So here we go. So Tanzanian name. 75 unique Tanzanian baby names with their meanings. I'm not sure if it's a good idea to go further down the Google list. I don't think it gets better down there, do you? I mean, the thing is, maybe, does it help if I write old or historical or ancient names? Because I wouldn't use one that's in fashion right now. History, what was the name of Tanzania before being called? Oh God, no. Yeah, of course it's difficult. Tanzania. I can't right now find a name with old names that might have been in use 5,000 years ago, but that's difficult probably. Anyway, because I'm not sure if there's much documentation left from back then. But maybe there is. I just don't know. Because I think at least in Germany we don't have a lot of idea what was going on 5,000 years ago here, do we? Some, of course, because they dig and all that. But did they have writing in Germany 5,000 years ago? See, you can see how much of a history buff I am there. Yeah, names. I will go down this list a bit, so at least it's not the one at the top. How about Ipiana? What do you think about? I'll show you the name. Give me a second. I just need to find my document again here. What do you think? Ooh, that wasn't supposed to happen. What do you think of Ipiana? This is our name now. I hope I'm proposing it correctly. I'll give it a try to see if I can find the right pronunciation. There's a person by that name who has a YouTube channel, or at least is on YouTube, which is good. He's a musician, Dr. Ipiana. Well, maybe then it's not a good name, because if there's a famous person by that name, I should probably use another. How about Ilimu? This apparently means knowledge or education. Might be a bit too obvious. We could try, or we could have a look. How about Ilimu? There's an education foundation that calls itself Ilimu, so maybe that's not perfect either. Which one? Sorry, I have to ask because of the lag and all that. But maybe we can still use Ilimu because that the foundation is called that. Well, it just makes sense because that's the meaning of the name. And I think it could work. Although apparently, well, the name description says it might have Arabic origins. The knowledge one. Let's go with Ilimu for now. Ilimu. But how is it pronounced? I think it would be pronounced Ilimu, but what do I know? Let me look it up if I can see how to pronounce Ilimu in apparently Swahili. See, I didn't even know that was the language there. Pronunciation. Yeah, Ilimu. My research tells me it's actually pronounced Ilimu. So, go. What else do we do? 5 together. Well, did we already have the one that slept in? I'm not sure we'd mentioned that. I don't think so. Did we? Let's have a look. This is before Torah came in. This is the person who's not. That's Torah. Yeah, here we go. So we still need. See, the thing is, I'm always torn in these live streams between uh, keeping a few surprises for later on for you too. And of course, on the other hand, I want to keep you in the loop about what's happening and what I'm thinking, because otherwise, how can we make good decisions together? So in this case, I have a little surprise for you for later on, and I'm thinking about how long I shall keep it and when to get you in on. It's not a big thing. It's not that you will be all, oh, whoa, I never saw that coming. It's just just a little thing. Maybe I'll keep it till next time, and then we'll see about him. Oh yeah. So we're waiting for 3 other magi, one of who is called Elimo. And well, why not? Let's find the Inca name right now while we're at it, I say, if you don't mind. Incan names. So Incan baby names, 100 names with meanings and history. Yeah, it's always a bit icky, that kind of research. But I can't find a better way to do this now. I'm not sure if this means we shouldn't do it, but let's try for now. Think about it and see later on. I think as long as it's mostly just the 3 of us, it can be done like this. How about this one? Pronounce Kiwi. Interesting. That's not the name, that's the site I found on how to pronounce the name. But is this... doesn't work. Well, then we'll have to do it differently. Words are us. Name, okay, Wiki. Is it here, maybe? Okay, so the name is apparently Pakari, if I see this correctly. It should be it. So what do you think of Pakari as the last name? Pakari. I'm not writing it in the story right now. What do you think? Here we go, Pakari. So, on with the story for now. Well, we certainly wouldn't want that. Oh, come on, don't do that. Well, we certainly would not want that. Comma, close quote, Munira muttered. Tora? Almost. Or did we have a... Why? I used to have a key combination that switches the microphone off, but it doesn't work anymore. I'll have to check that. But did we? Yeah, Tora is only T-O-R-A, no H in there. Right. Tora agreed. Emphatically, and Munira was quite unsure whether they had just missed yeah, what had they missed? Because Munira didn't mean it quite ironically or sarcastically, because she actually does not want everyone to die, but she means she still doesn't mean it completely. Great. Everyone agrees with Pakari for the Incan name. So I'll see, have I already written it? No. Pakari. Let's hope it's really an Incan name like that, because you always run the risk of having them be Spanish names in these kinds of lists. It's quite horrible. Well, trying to write about stuff you don't know about is always a danger. And while I can't completely avoid it, maybe I should more often. I'll keep thinking about this. And if you, dear viewer, should be watching this and hating me for this, feel free to tell me. I know it's not your responsibility to educate me about it, but I will gratefully accept it if you choose to do so, really. And I'll also try to educate myself as much as I can. So what is the word we're looking for? Because you have to imagine like this. Sam says fairy tales reproduce all kinds of harmful stereotypes, and also everyone but the king and queen usually dies at the end. And Munira says, well, we certainly wouldn't want that, because it's not that she actually disagrees, but she thinks it's a tiny bit ridiculous to talk about that right now, because she has other worries, and she's not used to that kind of, what can I say, she's a bit annoyed by all those theoretical ruminations these people have, while there are much more important things at stake or something. That's kind of the sarcasm. Maybe, should I just write sarcasm anyway? Or is there a better way to phrase it? Do you have any idea? I'll take sarcasm for now, and we'll have to see later on how it goes. Maybe we'll find a better word. I'll put a note on the comment. The sarcasm in her comment, or whether A had chosen to ignore it. That's what I meant. Or whether A had chosen to ignore it. Emphatically. And there's still no comma there. So we have one more. So for our next session, you can start thinking about other names for the rest of the magicians, if you like, the magi, whatever. You can prepare them, because I think there will be a next session, if you don't disagree. As I said, I'm afraid it will be again only the three of us, but I think that worked for today. At least it worked for me, and we'll find a date if you want to. But we're not quite done for today. Has Tora already ordered? Because we can do that now. If you think that's too much detail, feel free to let me know. I kind of like it. And I know this is slow progress, but I still need to get into the mood of the story and find how many are left. I count one. Yeah, that's quite right. That's kind of right. Maybe it has to do with a little surprise I have for you. So my answer is a bit vague, but we'll find enough use for additional names. So Tora has not ordered yet. Is that right? Let's check. Tora. Here's the first appearance of Tora, and that's Tora. Yeah. Yeah, right. And what would you like to eat and drink? Question mark, close quote, asked the waiter, waitress. Or had we solved that in a different way? I'll need to look that up too. I'll check. Wait. Waiter, I think. No, we haven't done it that way. How did we do it? Serve. How did we do this? Serving person. Server. The server. Well, is that possible? Does that work? Do people say server in English to people who serve at restaurants? Is that something that's done? I think it's not. No, it's not. I can't find it. I think we'll have to switch to waiter waitress there. Yeah, we need to change that. Let's just go with waiter asterisk waitress. I think that works for now. I don't think it's a perfect serving person. That's okay. The Magi can say that. Waiter, waitress. Or did we even get their gender somehow by them calling us their pronouns or something? I don't think so. Oh, if I only could remember all that, but I can't. So let's stay like this. Ask the waiter, waitress. Smiling at Tora. All right. So last question for today. And I'll make it an open one. Special vote with no options given by me. Full stop. So this is just a chaotic free-for-all. Go ahead, exclamation mark. Here you go. Just to make to do something completely unexpected, to blow, as it were, your mind for this nice and seemingly calm Sunday morning, I think it is for all of us right now. And you can tell me what Tora will order. And of course, if you contradict each other, that's not a problem at all, because we can, if you like, use your ideas, just recycle them for the next Magi that comes in, if you don't feel their character deserves special consideration. And yeah. Also, of course, every time, every single time without exception, I ask you for this kind of thing, you are, of course, always free to just say, sorry, no idea, sorry, I don't want to participate, no, please decide this on your own, or I will sit this one out and let others decide. That's not a problem at all. I'm just giving you an opportunity here, and that's an offer. That's not something you have to do. So never feel pressure to participate in these kinds of things. Sometimes it's nice if you tell me that you won't participate, so I know I don't have to wait for your vote or your comment. But you don't have to do that either. I know it's not always easy. For example, some people might be listening to this while driving or something, or building a house. It's all possible. Blueberry pie is what Millicent says. That's a very nice idea. Let's say blueberry pie. Do they also want something to drink, like tea or coffee or lemonade or juice or milk or cocoa? Or, I don't know, mead would be something Thor would probably order, the Norse god, or would they what did Thor drink? Would that be mead, like that honey wine, or is that just a cliche perpetrated by German Christmas markets and stuff? Millicent, do you happen to know that? I don't want to make you our token stereotypical Norwegian person, but in case you know this, it would be interesting. I was thinking about something salty, but now I want blueberry pie too. Ananas juice. Yeah, let's do that. Blueberry pie and ananas juice. But they can also have something salty. They can eat as much as they like. So maybe they also want pineapple. Ah, yeah, right. Yeah, ananas is not in English. I forgot to. Pineapple, right. Yeah, yeah. They can also order something salty, like, I don't know, a sandwich, or these, what are they called? These pastry things, you know? They have these pastry things with like sausage in them or something like that. We can do that. Yeah, we can just, I'll do that. Let's just do everything. Open quote. I would like a pineapple juice, small. Because, you know, I'm not sure if this is clever character building or just too much adherence to cliche, but I was thinking, since Tora wears a suit and a tie and everything, A might be the kind of person who knows exactly what to order and do it right the first time. So that's why I'll have them say a small pineapple juice, or maybe they even say here 0.2 liters pineapple juice. A piece of that onion pastry in your display, and a slice of blueberry pie, please. And here's our order. What do you think of it? I missed what you said. I was thinking about pie, says Millicent. I think you did everything correctly in this case. That is just what you should have done. Everything is right. So we're done for today. It's 10:30, and that's what we planned for our stream. So I say thank you. This was very enjoyable. I liked this very much. If you also enjoyed it, feel free to like and subscribe on YouTube. Push whatever button feels appropriate to you on whatever platform you're consuming this. And feel free to return, or if you have not yet entered, feel free to enter the Discord, because it's nice there, really. Now there are 2 liters. No, it's just point. It's 0.2 liters. Look, there's a point. There's a. It's. I can write the 0 like this. Yeah, but it's lovely, but a lot, says Gekrimbel. I think Tora can drink 2 liters of pineapple juice, but it's not what was intended, actually. Thank you. So yeah, so join us on Discord if you haven't yet, or if you don't want to join us on Discord, no pressure. Just stay wherever you are and where you feel comfortable. I like the comfort zone. It's not as bad as it's made out to be. No, I overlooked the point, says Gekrimbel. Yeah, no matter. Yeah, and also, we'll have a vote on Discord on when to do the next stream. Maybe we'll make it a regular thing, but I'll still have to figure that out. So, see you soon. Bye-bye. And thank you for participating. You are a great audience, and this was wonderful, and I hope you enjoyed it a bit too. Feel free to give me any feedback you might have whenever you feel like giving me feedback, and have a nice Sunday. Bye-bye.